The first question, Babaji, would Babaji like to explain the meaning of tapas first?
The word tapas literally gives a meaning like burning out. Here, in spirituality, all the acquired habits of the mind is burnt out. That exercise is known as tapas. Since time immemorial, whatever habits the mind has acquired and it has built up its own attitude, thinking, all these things. So, thus, the thoughts and visions are there in the subconscious state of the pure consciousness, which we recognize as the mind's subconscious state. Now, this needs to be completely erased. So, symbolically, it's like when a thing is burnt out, it is purified. So, that's how this word tapas has been used.
Thank you, Babaji. So Babaji practiced this tapas for 5 years, sitting in the same room in the Veridhan ashram. Is it necessary for tapas to be sitting in meditation, in solitude, or can this burning out, this tapas, happen while being active in the world?
There are other ways also, through devotion and through karma activity. When you are active in this world, if you adopt the karma yoga, how there is a highest point of acceptance in you with total patience, because the world can hit your ego terribly and tremendously. Surroundings and the people, your own imaginations, your own assumptions, your own definitions, so many things of the mind. It can hurt the ego. And always things may not happen according to our expectations or wishes or the way that we would have put effort also. In spite of that, things may not happen. At all such times, our ability to keep the mind quiet. How can we keep that mind quiet? We can keep the mind quiet if there is acceptance. We have put effort and the result has come. The result should be accepted by us. It's fine, okay. Either with the devotional thing like it's the divine's wishes, it's all right. And we pray to the divine, may it happen according to your wishes. Plus, always please inspire my wisdom so that I am on the right path. I don't give up hope. I don't give up efforts. Like this, when you continue, so imagine 20 years I practiced this type of tapas. That's the much more difficult than sitting in a solitude by closing the eyes. Because when you are in the midst of human beings, in an institution, and you just have to serve, the master is there. There are so many VIP devotees of the master will be there. So everything will be there, so many types. So you have to bear with that ability to have that patience. So then the mind recedes and it becomes quiet. It doesn't go into any brooding, any disappointment, no dejection, no depression, nothing. So when it is quiet, it becomes matured and it enjoys supreme peace and it's always be happy. And slowly the awareness of the self also comes. Ki I am that truth of existence, not this body. So let these people criticize this physical body. Let these people accuse this physical body. Let these people humiliate this physical body. I am at the lotus feet of the Master. May this service reach the lotus feet of Master. So like that we practiced Karma Yoga, which is not easy as we talk. So if anybody can practice this, then also such a person would have burnt out all habits of the mind. The mind became silent. It was at ease all the time. So that is the essence of tapas. So the same reason that we do deeper meditation means for long time. So like that 20 years we did, and the final 5 years, so we were made to sit in one room in a solitude, quietly, keeping the eyes closed. The same thing we were doing. Whatever deeper impressions were there since time immemorial, so many lives would have passed, all such things got removed in this final 5 years after so much of work. Probably that was the reason when the vision came of the master to make me to sit for tapas. He said, you had done selfless 20 years of service, so you got the fruits of 7 years of tapas. So if you just do another 5 years, a nirvikalpa samadhi can happen. So that's how it came. So that's how tapas was for 20 years and then 5 years in its own way that we did.
So Babaji mentioned the 20 years was also the tapas. And does that mean, so Babaji's mind was totally devoted to Swamiji. So the concentration, if you like, was complete. It was total. Therefore, it was the tapas. It has to be complete.
Exactly. Devoted to the lotus feet of the master means you accept everything simply. It is like when you are a servant, you consider yourself as a servant of the master. You don't have any choice to exercise. That means you simply accept it. When the mind is quiet. So this is what had to happen. It's fine. There were no reservation or choices that we wanted to exercise in the ashram, that we will work only here and not here, not this type of work. We will work only this type. We will have only this type of dress. Nothing was there. There was no any such imagination at all. So it simply went through. So the things were smooth because mind did not suffer. The mind, the 20 years simply passed by very quickly because the mind did not notice the life outside the ashram. We were in the ashram. Though occasionally we went out, means for marketing we went out to bring any groceries, to bring any vegetable, to do any other work that was assigned to the bank and looking after the ashram, and of course to see my mother, like when the master permitted. All these things did happen. But at all times, the mind was introverted. It was in the ashram. Mind was in the ashram, only the body came out. Many times I tell, when you get annoyed with somebody or somebody is irritating you, after that the thing is finished, when you have to leave the place, don't carry that annoyance with you. Leave it there and leave that place peacefully in the mind. So like that. So the mind, but here positively, mind was always in the ashram, in that life. So thus it remained quiet, it remained devoted to the master, and there was acceptance. That is how the tapas happened. Both devotional path and karma yoga were combined in that 20 years. That's what I can tell. And whenever there was time available, sitting in a solitude also we practiced to a certain extent. Like when Swamiji was not there, many days, if any such town going work was not there, so after breakfast or a little bit eating, then we would make some chapatis, go behind, sit under the tree. There were a lot of mango trees in 70s and sit there under that. And sometimes do a little bit of reading of Yoga Vasistha, then go into meditation for 7 hours. Like that we practiced that also whenever time was available. Evening for 1 hour meditation and 1 hour bhajan kirtan practice. That we practiced like a sadhana. One after another, went on singing. So did not allow the mind to get diverted here and there. Simply went on singing. Who was there, who was not there. We always imagine my divine Guru is there. That is enough. There is no need that others should be there and listen to me. There are sages, there are angels, everybody is there. That's how we used to think, and I used to simply sing. So, like this, in so many ways, one can keep the mind quiet and focused on to that ultimate truth, divinity. So that's what I was doing. So that was very helpful. So just 5 years, a little bit was needed. And in these 5 years, one was noticed by the world. Earlier, 20 years, perhaps nobody noticed. Hardly very few might have noticed, or hardly anybody noticed. They saw me washing utensils, dusting the floors, working in the accounts office, and serving Swamiji, getting scoldings, getting this, that, everything. All that were visible. So that was how I do tell, when you enter a premises or a room, you seldom notice the space, but you notice all the matter that is there. Like that, they would have noticed me working and doing all the things and getting humiliated, getting scoldings, getting anything, but they would seldom have noticed what was happening in the mind, how that mind was becoming quiet. Some people even commented, don't you think your youth, total youth has been wasted in this ashram? I just used to smile at them. I knew ki it was not a waste, I was gaining. All the time the sadhana was on. So that's how the tapas went on.
Thank you, Babaji. And Babaji talks about how Swamiji trained him to have the do or die attitude for tapas. Is that total commitment and fearlessness? Is that what is necessary?
Definitely, commitment is very necessary. You must be serious. You mean business. Never look back. That type of things. Well, from the beginning itself, my mother also taught, like when she sent me to ashram, she took the promise that I will not come back. Means I will achieve for the purpose that I will be going. I just said, as long as my guru does not send me out, kick me out, I won't leave and I will be there. So that helped me to have the attitude of, and Swamiji taught the attitude of a self-respect. Do it or die. Like he himself taught in his life, the first time that created an impact on my mind when I read his biography was 2-3 months afterwards. One day he came out of Samadhi and felt like crying. It was very painful because he was sitting on the ground on the muddy land, and his skin had becoming decaying. Rodents, scorpion, all these things were used to bite, and it became very difficult for him to keep the mind into samadhi. That's when he thought, why should I live like a dead man here in this graveyard? I must go back and do some business, work, and help my mother and other siblings. That is my duty, he thought, and he started going. When he came to the gates of the graveyard, he saw the Jangama sage standing. He said, for 12 years you have to sit and do. That is in your destiny, which has made us manifest like this and come to help you. I will not allow you to go anywhere else, so you must sit and do. On hearing this, Swamiji immediately decided, if that is so, so be it. I will sit for 12 years. Only if death happens to the physical body, I cannot help it. That will be the end of the tapas. Otherwise, I will not get up for any other reason, he said. And he came back. That with that attitude of do or die. So that's what later also, while teaching us, he used to talk about this. Like, look at the soldier. When he goes to the battlefield, he is never confused. He knows either he will do it or he will die. So like that you have to be in this world and in this life also, in the ashram life also. You will do it, or if you have to die, that's no problem. So that came to us also. So finally when I came to the ashram, the beginning itself, that incident happened. There was one royal lady who wanted to donate her big property to Swamiji. Swamiji said, it's difficult to look after the properties, we don't have manpower. So you sell that property, you come to the present ashram in Dehradun, then we can develop this ashram. But some evil, wicked people killed her, murdered her. For the reason probably they didn't want the property to go to Swamiji. This was way back in 1975, beginning of 75. Well, telephones came threatening us, you must leave the place, you run away, you don't be here, your life is also in danger, all such things. So for a while I was confused, but I wrote to Swamiji. Even if I get killed, I am happy. It's like getting killed in the battlefield. But whatever you say, Swamiji, if you say I should come away from here, I will come. Or if you say that I must stay back here, I will stay here. Swamiji said, your hair, nobody can touch your hair. Just be there. Do not look back. Never be afraid of anything. Courage is very important in the Bhakti Marga. And you must not look back. Nobody will touch your hair, he said. He conveyed his blessings. So that was it. It got wiped out from the mind. Mind became peaceful. Like this, in so many ways, we learned yoga, tapas, sadhana. We continued with that attitude of do and die. Finally, when the vision, he came down during the Arati in 1994 November on the 10th day, which was a Kartik Purnima day. And when he made me to sit for tapas in that room, that's what he said. Either you have to come out as a yogi from this room or your dead body must come out. You must not stop. That's what I heard him telling. So like that was the final lesson. Do or die. Commitment, that means you are committed. You will not look back. No power can make you to stop such sadhana or your path on this. You will not get attracted to anything, either tempting or either scary. Nothing can disturb you.
Thank you, Babaji. So those tests that also came within the tapas, the manifestations could be dreaded things, could be also pleasant things. What were those things? What was the significance of that,
Babaji? Probably the final residue that was in our consciousness since long times, when that mind concentrated, then that enabled a manifestation. Manifestation word when I use, it will be as physical as this universe that you are seeing. This world that can be of both dualities. Means one could be very tempting for you to deviate from the path of tapas, give up and come out for other luxury things that you might imagine, or other ones is the scary, which can make you give up and run away. You don't want to continue. Oh, this is very dangerous. Like that type of things always came. All the time we were taught just to watch and not react in any way. Nothing will happen. When we did not react, when they came closer and dangerously, when we did not react, so that used to disappear. This was one significance that I can explain about this, what I am telling. So that was how, that also you get to see during tapas. Finally, when things needs to be wiped out in the mind's purification. So that's what is burning out of the habits of the mind happen. In every way, everything finally. Then you transcend all form and formlessness in every way, all imaginations, all manifestations, all existence, everything that you can attribute some name or some form or something, you transcend in your consciousness, it totally becomes silent, 100%. Perfectly it is purified. That's when it merges with its real self, that is divinity. So that is the process that happens. But in that process of that timing, it can be 12 years, it can be 5 years, or whatever it is timing. In that time, your ability to remain quiet, your patience, your ability to have the patience. If you have patience, you can remain quiet. Otherwise, you open up. You give away yourself. You act upon as the mind induces you. So that says, you are not ready for this life. And you get attracted quickly. Somebody sits for 2 to 3 years of tapas and gets away and goes and get married. But that means that person was not ready for tapas. He could not take that pressure of toughness. He couldn't have that patience and that acceptance or quietness. So they gave away themselves. So that's what happens. So that's what is very important in tapas. Your patience, your ability to remain quiet.
So that means for those people who failed, even at that late stage of sadhana, to do tapas and not be able to complete the tapas, that means would they have started the tapas too early and they had a desire to do the tapas rather than it happened naturally?
Yeah, probably the desires were not over or complete, or there was something there which the mind looked for its happiness somewhere else other than in the self, other than having that target of self or self-realization, such a life or any such thing. It looked somewhere else for something else. So that's when one can lose the ability to remain steadfastly to that cause, or to do the tapas, or can give up. It can happen.
Babaji. And Babaji, with the self-realization, Babaji has talked about the mind merging back into the real self. Does that mean the mind will never again, from that point, jump back into having an ego? Is that a permanent state?
Yeah, because that is the zone capture, what I would like to say. The consciousness has come out in illusion, has come into this world and into the creations, into its own imaginations and manifestations. So illusion it has created for itself is also so strong, and that illusion is holding it, doesn't allow it to go towards the truth easily. Until it comes to the marginal of the zone, that layer, it has to put effort. That effort will be tremendously torturous and troublesome for the mind's determination, courage, and wanting to do it, or like attitude of do or die. Really want self-realization only and nothing else. And for that we are ready to give up anything that is necessary. So that type of attitude. So when it comes to that zone, after the half zone, then this divinity will slowly suck. But during that time also, you just have to keep quiet mentally. Means that time you need to have patience for that process to happen. Never look back. That's when detachment, vairagya can be very helpful. A vairagya comes when you have a conviction, firm conviction, the entire universe is impermanent and not a real existence and cannot give you a permanent happiness, including the physical body, and you are aware this physical body can go away any time. Before that, there is one chance. We must not give up. So that type of firm conviction can give a vairagya which can sustain you on this path.
So an enormous determination came from that, to the Babaji, the determination not to give up at any rate or any.
Yeah, it came. What I would like to say is we had surrendered to the Master's lotus feet, and so His grace descended, helping us. We just listened to Him, whatever way. So once we achieved, then we noticed for 20 years, whatever way Swamiji had behaved or told me, scolded, good or bad, anything, it was all just a training to make me like a commando. We realized that. Though at that time, For others, it would have appeared odd and sad and wrong, because we simply accepted. When we see also, so we realized that Swamiji was just training me, just preparing me, grooming me up to be tough like that. Finally, for that 5 years, though he had given up the physical body, he was not there around with us, but we could feel his presence and stick to that one. So that became possible. So that is his grace, his blessings, Master, the Guru. That is so essential, a relationship of a disciple and the Guru, Guru and disciple. The Guru is like an umbrella, a roof, that you will not deviate from the path if you surrender to the Master, if you authorize to the Master. So that becomes possible. That's his grace descends.
Thank you, Babaji. Babaji, is it destiny for all souls or all people to undertake tapas at some point and become self-realized?
Yeah, destiny in the sense, you see, one single self that exists, all pervaded. From that, a droplet comes out and gets involved into its own illusion. So that is how that forms the destiny of that droplet. But because the droplet belongs to that ocean of divinity and it has no other place to go finally, this droplet's abode is, because this ocean is all pervaded, not like the water's ocean of the earth. This ocean is divinity. And this droplet also has to exist within this divinity only. So it is destined to go back. So that destiny will push it, one time will come for every individual imagined selves, that they will have to do, and they will do it, and they will go for that, and they will achieve. Today, if it has happened to me, tomorrow it might be you, day after it might be another, like that. Whoever get inspired by this teaching, whoever is able to understand the truth of the existence of this world and the self and the want of the highest peace, all these things, when they are ready to give up everything else, it will be individual's choice. Nobody can impose this. Our job is to teach, to guide, try to inspire, tell the truth, answer the questions. Then it is for the individuals what they can take up. They can take their own time. That's like that finally.
Thank you, Babaji. Babaji, there's a question that's come in the chat from Pratista. The question is, the ultimate aim of any sadhana or tapas is to attain self-realization or liberation. I wanted to know if they mean one and the same thing, or is there a difference?
Liberation and self-realization is all the same. When you get liberated from your illusion, your own imaginations, you merge back with the self, and thus you realize the self. That is your real self, not the individual imagined self. So thus both are same. Liberation and self-realization.
There was also another question. Also, liberation, which is mukti, is of two types, jivan mukti and videha mukti. So if jivan mukti is what is known as self-realization, then what is videha mukti? I know Babaji is a jivan mukta.
Yeah, you see, jivan mukta means you are totally liberated, you are self-realized while alive in this body. The body is still alive. That means, I have told, my consciousness is purified, it is silent, but if I need to, I can imagine, think, and teach what I want to teach. I can answer a question, I can use the brain. So a small consciousness is in touch with the brain. So in spite of this, it is not involving into any illusion, It can see this world through the eyes, but it is simply watching as a witness, doesn't get mentally involved with any greed or wanting or any such things. So thus it remains as a liberated one. So this is the Jivan Mukti. When the body dies or gets dropped, then that consciousness finally once for all merges with the self. After that, there is nothing, no thinking and not coming and not doing, not doing, not existing, not existing. Everything finishes there. That is the Videha Mukti. Afterwards, after the body is dropped, that's how Yoga Vasishtha talks about this. Jivan Mukta and Videha Mukta.
Babaji has mentioned that it's the same effort as Babaji bringing his mind up to this imagination as it is for a normal person to make their mind quiet in meditation.
As the mind is quiet, my consciousness is totally silent. Many times, even if I am talking, if somebody talking also, it is totally in silence. Everything doesn't reverberate there. Most of the time, mechanically it is done. If at all I have to bring to the level of brain or think a little bit, so I have to struggle to bring it as you struggle to bring the mind away from the world, introverted to the self. Yeah, that is the thing.
Thank you, Babaji. Babaji, sorry, there was another question. Is it okay to read
Yes.
question?
Yeah.
From Angela. In inspirational books, there are stories about an individual who listens to Buddha or a yogi, and that person immediately becomes liberated. How is this possible without tapas?
Now, in stories, these type of things are told. Things doesn't happen in due course of time. When Buddha himself had to do tapas, so he got inspired on listening to Buddha's teachings. Then he became quiet mentally and he practiced that quietly in the solitude and then actually became realized. Not simply, only in Yoga Vasishtha, Sri Rama is mentioned about achieving. That means for 7 days the discourse went on by Vasishtha talking about the mind, consciousness, effects of imagination. So Sri Rama's soul was so ripe, just ready. If the wood is totally dried, it just needs a spark of fire and it catches the fire. So Ramakrishna used to tell, if the wood is wet, it won't catch the fire easily, it will take. So that's how if the disciple is not yet ready, so he will take long time to understand the master's teachings or to do sadhana, any such thing. But if the disciple is ready and ripe, that was how Sri Rama, just by listening, that 7th day, by the 7th day he had achieved Nirvikalpa Samadhi. He had become totally quiet because he understood every point. Simply, I have to become quiet. And he became quiet. He became quiet. He became quiet. He was listening. He was quiet. He was listening. He became quiet. That was how he had achieved. So like that only things do happen, very rarely. But often the story may mention, just by listening he got liberated. Just by taking the name of God he got liberated. So lifelong you have to practice taking the divine's name. Just in the end, if you just take the mind, if the mind is carrying another 100 type of thoughts also along with that one, and just chanting God's name, it won't get liberated easily. It has to practice, long-term practice. That is the truth.
Thank you, Babaji. There's one question, Babaji, from PN. They have asked, please let me know why the path of tapas is difficult. Why are we required to be trained for the final stage of tapas? Why it has to be like a military training?
You see, the amount of mind getting involved into the illusion is so much. Means it depends why the washing of this cloth requires so much of washing. You put into the hot water, you boil it, and then put the soap powder, and then add other agents, this do things, then wash again, then if necessary wash again, if necessary wash again, to make it white and glowing. So it all dependent on the dirt of the cloth. The dirt that the mind would have acquired since time immemorial. To get rid of that one, it takes that much of time, and in that, your determination would have become weakened. So much you are involved. This world's illusion hits, it slaps, it removes all your 32 teeth by slapping type. That type of things when it happen, your determinations, your decisions, your abilities would have become so weak mentally. Oh God, I cannot walk anymore. I cannot do this. So that's why it gets delayed. It becomes tough. Then the master comes. Then the master wants to train you. Come on, get up. Get up now. I will hit you on your head. You bloody. Don't be weak like this. You are not born to sleep. You are born to sit down. You are born to work it out. You have to work. You have to get up at 3:30. You have to sleep only after 1 o'clock. In between, no rest. Come and do this and come and do that. And the master trains. If you authorize the master, if you surrender. So that's why this commando training becomes necessary. Otherwise, you see people, you watch so many gurus conducting such retreats, often it becomes like a picnic. The master talks for 2 to 3 hours and you listen to the master. He might tell some story. You just listen to the story and you imagine yourself into the story. You don't have to meditate, and thousands of people can be booking for such retreats. But if you tell 3 1-1-hour meditations, 20 to 25 people, it's a great thing. They booked and they came. Today morning we did like that one. 3 times 1-1-hour meditation, in between 10 minutes, 15 minutes break, then question answer. They all sat and did seriously. Only the serious people, means they have come to that level. I was answering one of the question, one time when we visited an ashram in America, the monk Swamiji was there, he was talking to me. After discussing, he commented, Ki Babaji, you teach university and research people, I teach only primary and middle school people. So that's how the training of the toughness. In primary school, it is not very tough, a little bit sweetened so that to attract you to remain in the school, you don't run away. Then as you come to high school, then college, the toughness increases. You have to pay your attention to learn. You need to become totally focused to do such research works and all such things. So that's why this thing happens. The amount of dirt that the mind acquires, it takes that much of time.
Thank you, Babaji. Anas.
Okay, the lady who was murdered, she was doing good work. Why didn't the guru or angels come and help her so she could continue?
Guru helped the soul. It was the body which got killed. The soul always will be with the guru. Because
so she was liberated.
So many other reasons could be there. But my master said, my devotee is with me. Those people who killed, they lost her. The body only has disappeared. Body will, one day it will die. You have to be careful. You cannot afford to be careless in this world. You have to be careful. If I am not going to be careful, every day I go on eating sweets and I die, my kidney fails, then I try to blame my guru. That's not the proper thing. I did not take care of my body. So that's why my kidneys failed and I had to die. But as a soul, I will be with my guru. So that is the truth actually, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Got it? Okay, fine.
The question is about, also, you have in the past ordered us to remain in silence, at least one day in a week. The question is, when we practice this to be quiet, to quiet our mind with the open eyes, is it important that we settle ourselves in this experience of our true self, or is it just a simple squeezing the muscle of the brain to not having any thoughts?
You see, first thing you would be able to understand essence of the mind itself becoming quiet. When you are practicing a silence, then a serenity descends somewhere. You will be able to enjoy that silence. Once you get used to that one, if allowed, if possible, you would like to remain silent like that one. And then you understand the essence of the mind. If I am silent in the mouth, if this can give me so serenity and peace, imagine if my mind becomes quiet, how much peace and serenity that it can give. This is one important thing. Other thing also, that you try to remember the impermanence of the universe in the mind. If at all you have to remember something, if at all some thoughts are coming, try to think about yourself as that eternal entity, the immortal soul. Like that you can spend the day as much as possible. Say if you are sitting in a room, at least try not to allow the mind to go out of the room. It is inside the room only. Keep it there and try to think like that. So that will be very helpful, and your silence will be very effective.
Thank you very much. I understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Babaji. As far as I know, everything you're saying is already answering. As far as our motivation, I notice, I'm tired in the evening. Maybe instead of meditating or chanting, I will just read, look at YouTube and read about veganism or some other good thing, but not the ultimate thing. So I don't know, just the readiness of time. When will I devote all the time, as you say, become so focused? Everything is towards realization.
Say, if at all you are tired, and if at all you just want to look into YouTube, look for Baba's teachings on this topic. Why about the vegan, boogan, all these things, oogie boogies, you give it up for some other time. It is as simple as that. YouTube has got plenty of Baba's teachings on this topic. You look into YouTube, no problem, but look into this teaching.
Pranam, Babaji. Pranam. Babaji, this is regarding now when we meditate, we are closing the eyes and we are doing that during a meditation. And sometimes we see Babaji's, the image or the photos you send, there are good instructions in there. And sometimes Babaji speaks and he gives he gives instructions. And in our day-to-day life, those instructions, if we remember and if we practice that, it has got implications and it has got a lot of effect, profound effect. I have noticed that. And if we chant them, those instructions, if we chant them as a mantra during our day-to-day life, and we are just going here and there, and so that also will be a sadhana, that also will reduce the mind, that also will burn the impurities of the mind.
Well, if you do it with totally focused on the mantra, your mind should be on the mantra, then that effect can come.
I have noticed that I have seen, especially some of your own instructions. I have noticed that when I'm out there in the world, as soon as I see that my mind is going and I practice that instruction, I see that the mind is, it was rushing or it was going and it is just coming quiet. Oh no, we should just control it. And I noticed that. So that is also a sadhana and burning
Sadhana.
out and everything.
Yeah, it is sadhana. Playing the tennis match is a sadhana. Don't allow the ball to go out of the room. Keep it there. That is your mind.
Thank you. Thank you.
Suchetana, you unmute ask your question, please.
Gurudev Babaji Pranam. Can you hear me, Baba?
Yes, I can hear you.
One question I have, Gurudev, in your book Beyond Bliss, there is a section where you describe that after the Mahasamadhi of Guru Maharaj, you went to Chamundi Hills, Mysuru, and you sat there like kind of a Vairagya came to you and you sat there for like 2 or 3 days past in meditation in that cave. Gurudev, was that meditation without any kind of intervention by the world, or did it happen to you? Like, did this kind of meditation happen before also when you were in the ashram, or 2 to 3 days at a stretch past after Swamiji's Samadhi happened only from that time only?
During my life in the ashram previously also, quietly these type of experiences came, but I never expressed anything to anybody. The world did not notice also perhaps. But that time also, after the 3 days, on the third day, a vision also came. In that vision only, that 20 years of your selfless service has brought you 7 years of tapas fruits. Your mind has become quiet that much. If another 5 years if you do, it will attain the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. That vision came during that time only.
Yeah, Gurudev, there's a following question that you said that you didn't pay much attention to that resurrection of Guru Maharaj. And you went to the Dehradun ashram, and there also Guru Maharaj again appeared. Then you also were thinking that how can you sit for tapas whether you were ready or not? Who actually elevated from inside it came that you have to sit for tapas, or Guru Maharaj made you sit for tapas? But like it is always Guru Dev who guides that key.
Yeah, Guru Maharaj came and he in a vision and he took me to that room. He made me to sit for tapas. He ordered me, you just keep watching here. So then I just went like that one. So initially one time I might have thought, should I continue or what should I do? But then that confusion also. At one point, the general, he came and he encouraged, you do tapas, ashram can be looked after by others. No, don't worry, you just continue. Then I forgot everything and continued with my tapas. Others also helped and served, like Ambaji was there to look after me. Often she used to come and stay longer time. So other people, they like that I continued simply. Because the detachment was there, that came a bit easy. It was not a very tough decision to make.
Babaji, so my question is, you say that we have 3 responsibilities in this world: physical, mental, and moral health. So I know that meditation helps with mental and moral health, and doctors say to exercise 30 minutes to an hour a day. So which one is more important, meditation or exercising, or is it the same?
Okay, both. You see, when I told you have a responsibility, look after the health of the body, and using the body, take care of the health of the mind. That doesn't mean that for body health also you only meditate and not do anything. You have to do bodily exercises, and wherever, whenever necessary, take advice of a medical expert in that field and follow the instructions of the medical expert is necessary. So then only it will be helpful in every way. Got it?
Thanks, Babaji.
Okay.
My question is similar to Semonti's. Babaji, this year my health has been very weak. And in the past few months, I broke my elbow. So I'm recovering. But I like to meditate, and I try to meditate for an hour. But the mind doesn't quieten until 45 minutes later. And then I lose the patience to sit. So is dhyana the only way to practice sadhana? Or can we concentrate on jnana marg?
You see, any way that can quieten your mind. So now if your health is not too good to sit down erect and sit meditation, you can lean on some pillow or to the wall, some recliner, somewhere like that. And without thinking about meditation or bothering for anything, Just relax and close your eyes and try to feel yourself. That's easy way. That's the easiest way. You can keep your body very comfortable on a recliner will be much better if you're unable to sit properly. The moment you start thinking of meditation, then the agitation of the resistance from the mind comes. Don't bother about meditation. Simply relax, close the eyes and try to feel yourself. Try to feel yourself like that as comfortably, how long, whatever is possible, you try to practice like that one. Then also mind can become quiet and will be very helpful. So other times when it's too difficult to do this one, you can follow the Jnana Marga, try to read some books, some knowledgeable things, or if you like music, some devotional music, whatever appeals to you, you can do such things. Additionally, they all can be very helpful.
Thank you, Babaji. I am trying to read your book, Ashtavakra Samhita.
That's the wisest thing you are doing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Pranam Babaji. I want to know, how do you know, when we know we are ready for tapas, Babaji? What is the indication or something?
When you want to visit Washington, D.C., you will get up and start walking towards Washington, D.C., then you know that you are ready to go to Washington, D.C. It's something like that. When you want to meditate, when that urge comes that you want the self-realization, you are ready for that. So you just go on doing, you will know that you are ready.
Thank you, Babaji.
So wonderful. It was a very nice, lovely evening for us.